So listen, let me set this up for you. Here is Goliath that is supposed to be all big and bad, 9 feet tall. But when he comes to the fight, he doesn't just come as he is. Why doesn't he come as he is? Because he realizes that what he has to face, he's got to have some protection himself. In other words, all by himself, he wasn't good enough. If you come to a fight all by yourself, then you're coming thinking that I have the ability to conquer the enemy. But the thing about it, when Goliath comes to the fight, he's wearing all this extra armor. What is the purpose of the armor? The extra armor that he puts on makes him look bigger than what he really was. So to the children of Israel, here was this 9-foot man, but in actuality, he really wasn't all that big. You got to remember, he had on some extra stuff that made him look bigger than what he was. That's how the enemy works with us. The enemy will try to add more to your problems. He'll try to make it look worse than what it is, try to make it look bigger than what it is, when in actuality, it ain't all of that. He just throws all this extra stuff on top of it. Just when you think you've come out of one thing, then he wants to add something else to it. The moment you feel like you come through the storm, then here comes something else. The moment you felt like your paycheck was enough to pay the bill, then the car breaks down. Then after the car breaks down, there's another bill due. Now look at what's happening here. David is the youngest out of all the brothers. His oldest brothers were already in the army. Let me help you. His oldest brothers were already working in the kingdom. His oldest brothers had already learned the terms of engagement. His oldest brothers should have already learned how to fight with a shield and a sword. The oldest brothers should already know how to fight with the weapons. In other words, for those of us that have been in the kingdom the longest, common sense would think that they should have more power than those that are just coming into the kingdom. But in this circumstance, we find that although you've been in the kingdom a long time, that doesn't necessarily mean you got what it takes to fight the enemy. Time does not give you power, but knowledge will give you power. So listen, just send me out there. I'm going to show you what I got. And so Saul says, well, listen, David, okay, I tell you what. Well, since you're going to go, I can't send you out there just like that. Here, I tell you what. See right there? Listen, take my shield, take my sword, take all of my armor, and you use this to go fight this Goliath. So, David being kind as he was, he puts on the armor and he's standing there and he's got all this stuff on, and David is saying, but this don't fit right. The reason it don't fit right because that was fitted for Saul. It won't fit it for David. And I can imagine in David's mind, David says, look here, Saul, look here. I understand what you're saying and it's all good, but I can't fight this Goliath with the stuff you giving me. In other words, why in the world you want to give me your stuff? Why are you trying to give me your armor? Because if the truth be told, if your armor was all of that, how come you didn't put it on yourself and go out here and fight the devil? See, you got to be careful about whose armor you're putting on. You can't put on everything everybody gives you. You got to be careful who speaks a word over your life. You got to be careful who lay hands on you. Everybody talking about, I'm going to pray for your healing, and they still running around here talking about they sick and afflicted. Somebody talking about, I'm going to pray for your prosperity, and they broke as a joke their own self. Let me tell you something. If you want to help me, then show me some sign that what you're working with is working for you. If it ain't working for you, how in the world is it going to work for me? That's all right, Saul. You keep your armor because I got something that's already been proven.